Well, hello, friends, and welcome to another spooky episode of the Middle Country Public Library podcast. I'm Sal DiVincenzo here in our very dark and dank studio.
It's never been brighter.
I'm here with Sarah Fade.
I'm looking at the screen. It's never been brighter.
You're like glowing with your white shirt.
So there's Sarah Fade over here.
Hi.
And Nicole Rambo over there. And it's a movie chat, a spooky movie chat. And there's only one person here at the podcast who is allowed to select spooky horror movies. And that is Sarah Fade.
Yes.
So Sarah Fade spun the wheel. Now, actually, you were very thoughtful about this selection. I noticed you were searching high and low to find this movie so we can watch it. And it turned out that it was on Tubi. So actually just
we do have it here.
And we do have it here at the library. Okay, Sarah. So let everyone know what this week's movie chat for our Spooktober is.
So I didn't want to pick a horror film because you guys are wussies.
No, it's not.
I'm not. I watched
true.
Men.
Yes, we watched Men.
That's true.
And I have not said anything about it.
Yes, you have. Almost every week we.
No, I am not. My husband is. I was fine with it.
He's okay with the screaming.
But it wasn't really. Men wasn't really horror. It was just disturbing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of disturbing, what movie did you pick?
So I decided to go with a movie that was spooky but not scary.
Okay.
So I chose. It is one of my top 5 favorite films.
Excellent.
Of all time.
Very good. All
for
right.
me.
Okay.
Which is Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth.
Very nice.
So it's a foreign film. It does have subtitles.
Oh, you killed me on that one because I'm looking for English dub.
Oh, no. Why would you do that?
Because sometimes I walk away from the TV set and I wanted to keep going in the background.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
You can't. This one, you have to stop and go inside, get something to drink, sit down, start it. You got to read.
So in Spanish, it's El Labyrinthino del Fauno by Guillermo del Toro. It's basically an all Spanish cast. We have Sergi López, Maribel Verdú, Ivana Baquero, Doug Jones, which he's the fawn.
Not Spanish, but
he's not. But
Is he also the?
Yes, he's the pale man.
Yeah.
What a he does all that stuff.
Yeah.
What a guy.
He's in almost every single Guillermo del Toro's films.
Yes,
Yeah.
he also did. He's in Star Trek, the Discovery show. He does all those crazy things, and when you see him, sometimes he'll walk a certain way, and you're like, "Yeah, that's that."
Yeah, and actually, his so when he played on, it wasn't obviously his voice.
Right.
It was dubbed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adriana Gill, she's been in a lot of stuff, and Alex Angulo, and then it was narrated by Pablo Adon.
Not much narration, but yes.
In the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
So I did print out some stuff on it. So the plot.
Wait, before you go,
What? Before I go.
spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen this 20-year-old, 30-year-old movie,
It won a few awards.
Yeah.
But for special effects.
Okay.
But in a fairy tale, Princess Moana, which I thought was funny. I was like,
that was very funny, yes.
Yeah.
Spelled differently, but
yes. Whose father is the king of the underworld, visits the human world where the sunlight blinds her and erases her memory. She becomes mortal and eventually dies. The king believes that eventually her spirit will return to the underworld, so he builds labyrinths around the world, which acts as portals in preparation for her return. So that's the backstory.
Okay.
In 1944, Franco is Spain, right? That's what we're in.
Yes, I had no idea about this type of Spain.
Yeah, bad
At
Spain.
all, yeah.
10-year-old Ophelia travels with her pregnant mother, Carmen, to meet Captain Vidal, her new stepfather. And he's not a nice man.
No.
No.
Not
Capitan, a civil guard officer and devotee of Falangism.
Yes, also something I had no idea about.
Has been assigned to hunt down the Spanish Maquis, so they're like the rebels. A large stick insect, which Ophelia believes to be a fairy, leads Ophelia into an ancient stone labyrinth. But she is stopped by Vidal's housekeeper, Mercedes, who is secretly supporting her brother Pedro and other members of the Maquis. So that we're introduced to her in the Freedom Fighters, as for another word. That night, the insect appears in Ophelia's bedroom, where it transforms into a fairy and leads her through the labyrinth. There she meets a faun, not a god, just a regular faun, who believes she is a reincarnation of Princess Moana. He gives her a book and tells her she will find in it 3 tasks that she must complete in order for her to acquire immortality and return to her kingdom. So that's when we go through the 3 tasks. So it alternates between surrealism, fantasy, and reality. So the first task, right, she has to retrieve a key from the belly of a giant toad.
Ick,
right? All I can think is this girl likes to be claustrophobic because every single thing. I'm like, couldn't she have made a bigger door?
Oh, I thought the same thing.
I'm like, girl, you're not a child.
Bigger
like, little
door.
tiny. Well, she's a child.
and she certainly
she's a
doesn't.
literal child.
Certainly doesn't like slime and leeches and whatnot.
The first thing when she there were these cockroach type of bugs. I went out. I was like, nah.
She doesn't care about that.
No,
She's a little kid.
I know. I know. So she finishes it. She completes it.
She does.
But her mom is sick with her baby inside her, her little brother. So the fawn gives her a mandrake root, which,
Harry Potter.
looks like it's alive.
Exactly. Harry Potter. I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
This is pre-Harry Potter, though.
Yes, I know.
And so she puts it under the mother's bed, and the mother seems to get better. Okay, so that's an aside. Okay, so then the second task is retrieving a dagger from the lair of the Pale Man, which is a child-eating monster and probably the most hideous thing.
Yeah. I've only ever seen this picture. I
didn't
didn't realize how he put his eyeballs in his hands.
Yeah. I mean, even if you didn't see the movie, you probably would have seen a meme or an image of it if you,
And let me tell you, Doug Jones must be really skinny because if you look at him when he starts to walk, there's hardly anything by his legs.
Yeah.
It's just
I
crazy.
wonder how they did that. That was cool.
Yeah.
So in order to get into this Pale Man's world, she has magic chalk and she draws a door, etc. And she's told not to eat anything. Under no circumstances.
Yeah,
and
of course, big feast on the table.
Yes.
Which, grapes. They just...
I know. I love a grape. They did look good.
Yeah. I looked up what the symbolism about this and I wasn't happy. Keep going.
Oh, I did not look it up.
Yeah, I did.
And...
No, it's like an allegory about the Catholic Church and how...
well, it is.
Eating children in a feast of,
It is.
All right.
And
Can't win.
so I think they won a lot.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row we're talking about.
So she eats the grapes. The Pale Man comes alive, eats her little fairy guides.
Yeah.
Which is not cool. And she barely escapes.
Yeah.
Barely.
I don't know how she has the strength to lift. That's quite the feat.
Yeah.
Upper body strength.
Well, if Pale Man is coming after you,
Yeah.
get a little adrenaline shot there.
Good thing he can't see because his eyes are on his hands. So he's swinging at her legs. He
Yeah.
really can't
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's good.
That's right. Okay, so then because she ate the grapes, the fawn is very unhappy with her.
Very unhappy.
Very unhappy. And she doesn't get the third task, right? And then, so now we're back into her present world. Her mother, unfortunately, gives birth to her brother, but doesn't make it.
She dies. Yes, she dies.
Yeah, that's sad.
Let's put it straight.
Yeah.
She dies.
People are captured and tortured.
Yes.
People are found out, etc., etc. Ophelia, etc., etc. Ophelia becomes aware of Vidal's ruthlessness in the course of hunting down the Marquis, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Mercedes tries to escape with Ophelia, but they are caught. And Ophelia is locked in her bedroom while Mercedes is taken to be interrogated. She frees herself, stabs Vidal, but she says she knows how to get a pig, but she doesn't know how to kill a person.
Infuriating. They do this all the time in every movie.
I was like, can you
kill
pick
him?
Yeah,
pick
exactly,
more spots where it wouldn't make a difference?
Yeah.
Stop talking.
She knows he's the big baddie. Kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't kill him.
And all of a sudden,
But she's not a killer, right? I guess.
No, she's not.
That's kind of
It's like, hey, Smiley.
yeah,
which
little
is
Joker
gross.
effect. but-
Exactly. Yeah. I was thinking, it's like, do you want to know how I got these scars?
The fawn, having changed his mind about giving Ophelia a chance to perform the third task, returns and tells her to bring her brother into the labyrinth to complete it. Ophelia retrieves a baby, flees into the labyrinth. Vidal pursues her as the Maquis launch an attack on the outpost.
I just didn't understand before you continue how she could. So she drugs him, right?
Yeah.
To get the baby away.
Yeah.
She put a lot of that stuff in, and he was still walking. He was just like, you would think he would have passed out.
Well, he
he's
might
evil.
have.
Maybe, yeah.
Because for her to get away
Yeah.
and everything, like,
But he catches up to her,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Yeah. Well, obviously,
Yeah.
he does something.
He's
Yeah.
evil, and they just repel anything that.
I
They just
know.
get slowed down. They don't actually ever get
Yeah.
knocked
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Ophelia meets the fawn at the center of the labyrinth. The fawn suggests drawing a small amount of the baby's blood. A small amount, a smidge. As completing the third task and opening the portal to the underworld requires the blood of an innocent. But Ophelia refuses to harm her brother. Vidal finds her talking to the fawn, which he obviously
Yes,
cannot see.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happens?
He shoots the little girl on film.
Yeah, that was like. And I had read this. So Sal told me this was an upsetting movie.
Yes.
So I read this Wikipedia before I watched it because I can't deal. And so I knew it was coming. I was still like,
Well, interestingly enough, it is the very first scene of this movie is her
On the
after she
floor.
was shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, yeah,
And it
yeah,
kind of goes backwards
Yeah.
for a moment, and then
Yeah.
the movie starts.
Yeah.
Right.
So I knew it was coming. I
Right.
just didn't know what it was, how it was
or
going to
why.
be.
Yeah.
Yes, it was terrible.
Yep. Mercedes enters the labyrinth, comforts a dying Ophelia, drops of blood from Ophelia fall down to the center of the spiral stone, and then you see her in the afterlife with her mother and her deceased mother and her deceased father in the underworld where she's Princess Moana. And then you cut to present day
Dead.
and she dies.
She's dead.
And then, but Vidal gets his just desserts.
A little
Yeah.
girl, 10 years old, 11 years old, killed by Guillermo del Toro on film. Okay, go ahead.
she's the princess.
So,
Moana.
and that's how it ends.
And then she looks for the heart of Tafiti.
Yeah.
And then she
Well,
gets
the only thing that the Capitan cared about was his son.
His son,
Yeah.
And now, his son will never know that
Oh
he
yeah,
existed.
they killed. Did you mention this? That
I did.
that
You were,
he
you were
kills.
too enraged about the death of.
He kills the Vidal, and
Yes, he dies.
And they say, "You'll never, tell my son how I died." They say he will not know that you
I wouldn't
existed."
have even let him finish the sentence. I'm like, boom.
I know. They let him talk too much.
Yeah, well,
Always.
people are
That's
nice,
how
I
it goes.
guess.
Yeah.
So that is the plot of the movie.
That's the plot.
The special effects. Now, this was,
For the time, I think it was pretty good.
I think it's good now.
Yeah.
no, yeah, it held up.
Yeah.
I was a little worried that it wouldn't hold up when I watched it again.
Oh, really?
But it did. And it was released in 2006.
Oh, 2006.
Yeah.
Wow, it feels older than that.
So
Yeah.
why do you
pretty
think
good.
it feels older than that?
I don't know. I just thought that it was a late 90s movie.
No.
No.
But
Okay.
I mean, close to it.
Oh no, I don't think it looks
Yeah.
old. I just think
Yeah.
for some reason I thought it was
Yeah.
it was older, but
I believe I saw this in the movie theater.
you did.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But, so yeah.
What did you think of the subtitles? Did it bother you, or it was easy
I
to
love
follow?
subtitles.
Guillermo del Toro wrote those subtitles because he doesn't trust anyone translating.
I don't
his
blame
work.
him.
I don't blame him either.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you listen to it, like I watch a lot of foreign films on Netflix, and if I'm too lazy to toggle
Yeah.
between it, it'll have the subtitles and it'll be dubbed.
Yes.
And they'll be like different.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, wait, that's not what just came
Yeah.
out of their mouth.
Yeah. As
Well-
an interpreter, I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's like because it's like the meaning behind what they're saying in different languages will say different word. Like the words are translated to English, but that's not the meaning of what they're saying behind that full
the
sentence.
meaning, yes.
Yeah.
The meaning
Yeah.
is very important.
So, so he knows what he meant
knows
to
what he meant to
say,
say,
and like
yeah.
you say that in Spanish, but if you're going to translate it, and you might just get words
The
and not
literal
the
meaning,
not the actual
the
meaning. So-
yeah.
So I was watching Doug Jones's mouth
Mm-hmm.
while he was speaking because I was wondering if he was speaking English on film, and then they were just dubbing his voice
Mm-hmm.
into Spanish. But it turns out that he learned how to speak Spanish so he can actually say the lines, and they can dub over it, and it matched up.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So why don't we go around the room and see what people thought of it? Nicole?
I thought it was great.
That was great?
I did. Yeah. I cried at the end.
Did you?
Yeah.
Of course I did,
Yeah, of
Sarah.
course. It's a little girl.
Of course I did.
Yeah. Sarah just picked up another piece of popcorn.
I cried at everything, so it's really not that crazy to think that I cried. But yeah, I cried. But not like honestly, I was like, oh, when Casey gets older, I'll show him this movie. Like I thought it was really good, you know. But yeah, I cried. But it's
Okay,
good. Yeah.
but you liked it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like. I vaguely heard about it. Like I said, all I've ever seen is pictures of
that guy. Yeah, that was the only
that's
thing.
all I
Yeah.
have ever seen.
Literally.
Yeah, I have no. I thought he was a bigger part of it. Like it's really pretty short.
I didn't even know this movie was in Spanish. I had no
me either.
idea.
Yeah, I didn't know it was in Spanish either. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's smiling. Yeah. So if you're not watching, Sarah's content in her in her choice.
I really liked
this
it. I'm happy I
month,
watched it. And it was.
What did Steve think?
I didn't watch it with him. I know. Yeah, no, sorry. I think I'll tell him to watch it though.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was a little over 90 minutes, but not much. And it did move pretty quickly. Because it was like going back and forth between the different worlds and stuff, so it was nice. But yeah, it's great.
So Sarah,
Great.
we know you love this movie. Is there anything you want to add about your love for this film?
No, I mean, other than it's well done. It's a children's fable, but it's not meant for children, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And it's
What is it rated? Is it PG-13?
R.
Oh, it's R?
It's an R, yeah. Oh yeah, there's some,
Oh. I was like, I can't wait to show
horrible
Casey.
scenes.
now that we know the guidelines.
Yeah. Come on, honey.
I think it's a good story to listen.
I see, Casey, when you're bad,
I know.
pale man is coming for you.
Well, apparently,
Don't let me get the chalk.
like, in other parts of the world, though, they still scare their kids. That's like a rearing tactic to like scare the crap out of them. Yeah. No, I know.
It works.
And I would have.
Like, I would never hit you, but the pale man, he would hit you.
He's gonna bite your finger off.
Yeah.
I would have sacrificed my little brother. I'd be like, it's okay, boop.
And you would never have made it to the underworld.
I know. I'm like, I'll do it with you. Well, my little brother, Danny. I'm like, come on, Danny, I'll do it with you. Boop, boop.
Just a little, right? Just a little.
But that was the point, though, that she kind of like that pushed her over because she rather than sacrifice the blood of an innocent, she sacrificed herself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It also shows that, she's inherently a good child and a good kid, and then these horrible things are happening around her where her mother passes, her father died. How did her father die? I don't know. It's a little bit implied with a wink that maybe the Capitan wanted something.
Yes.
You got it.
You got it. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's.
Well, I enjoyed the film very much. I thought it was great. Once again, Sarah surprises us with her choices, not thinking that I would like it. I thought
Why did you think you would not like it?
I don't know, because sometimes you pick things that are a little over the top for me.
But you like them all.
I did like them all, so maybe I should stop.
Don't doubt my
doubting your movie suggestions. I thought, and I actually inappropriately laughing at the situation, but the horror of the real world in this movie so much worse than the horror of the Pale Man and this crazy fawn and the frog and all these things that she goes up against. As a little child, anyone would be completely changed and hurt and destroyed for the rest of their lives. And yet she prevailed. But the real world was absolutely terrible and horrifying.
Well, I think I read somewhere where they said, why do children like scary books and stuff? And it's a way for them to sort of process scary things in the real world, but in a way that they can control. So this fantasy world is her way of...
So it's interesting because I was wondering if this was maybe just completely all fantasy in her head to deal with the fact
think there were fawns
that they're that her father.
Yes, she is Princess Moana, and she is living with the king and the queen
in the underworld.
Okay. For centuries and centuries. I'll start crying again.
Yeah, and I had no idea that the history of Spain and the fact that it had this dictatorship for years and years, and it was only like the mid 70s that Spain actually became a democracy. Folks, come to your library and research this stuff, because I had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea at all. So I started looking into that. I'm like, wow, were these guys the real deal? Yes, they were. These are based on a true story. This group was just terrible. And
I feel like all of the history is like Germany, some Italy, Russia, and then you'll go to like Vietnam.
Yeah,
like
but not this.
Not Spain. I don't think we really learned about.
No, it was a dictatorship from the 30s, I think, to the 70s. And it was 1975 that they actually had their first democratic election, and they changed their ways. But that is absolutely crazy. These people were brutal, treated the population terribly. And again, there was this rebellion that was taking place, and they were going after them. And there are some scenes in this film in the real world that far surpass the horror of the Labyrinth. And I think that's what Guillermo del Toro was going after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
It's good.
it was I think it's an enjoyable film for someone who wants
Someone crying.
Yeah.
Someone,
Yes, but yeah, that last part though, because she was so cute. She was cute.
I know, she was a cute little kid.
yeah.
Oh
She
my
was a cute
goodness.
kid. And
yeah.
she was a good actress.
Yeah.
And I know what Nicole's saying, but I deep down inside know that okay, yeah, she's in heaven, and this is she's gone. There is no underworld.
Well, that's her heaven.
Her heaven,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I know she's dead, but she's okay.
She's okay. Yeah, she's okay. She's okay with it. I'm fine with it. It's okay. Okay, we always do this. Scale of 1 to 10. Nicole.
10. I really
All
like
right.
Well, you know me. I picked it 10.
10. All right. We're gonna all agree it's a 10.
It's good. It was a
Yeah.
good movie.
So it's a good movie,
Yeah.
and we have it here at the library. Yeah, and it's a great film for spooky time.
For spooky time.
It is a
that's right.
spooky time film. It is really a good
Yeah.
spooky time
Yeah.
film. Yeah. Definitely creepy. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another movie chat. If you want to watch older movie chats, because we've done some amazing movie chat. We're approaching 50 movies now.
Really?
In the 6 years that we've done this. I think we are. Yeah. Maybe 40, maybe 40.
I only remember.
I know.
Maybe 40.
Birds.
Yeah, so yeah, they're only single words. No, but we've done a bunch. The first one I get constantly picked on for having chosen the Spanish Prisoner. But we've had some really good ones, and each of us has picked one. So if you want to see those older ones, you can go to mcplpodcast.com, do a search for movie chat in the search field, and you will be able to see all of them listed there for you. If you liked today's video and you're on YouTube, hit the like button, and we'd greatly appreciate that you would subscribe, because we have finally started moving forward again with subscriptions.
Hey.
So let's keep it up and let's let the subscriptions grow, because we have 2 more weeks of Spooktober, and we're gonna finish it all up with a nice Halloween episode. So thank you so much for listening and watching. For Sarah Fade and Nicole Rambo, I'm Sal DiVincenzo. See you on the next show.